dining room was dressed in its finest, silverware gleaming and family portraits watching from the walls. My parents stood at the head of the table, their voices steady as they welcomed everyone to this special occasion. My brother sat tall, his confidence radiating, while I tried to blend into the background, rehearsing my polite smile. When my father cleared his throat and announced that the family business would officially pass to my brother, the room erupted in applause. I joined in, clapping with numb hands, my face frozen in a mask of support. Inside, disappointment twisted sharp and deep. I'd always known my brother was the favorite, but hearing it declared so publicly stung in a way I hadn't expected. As the celebration swelled around me, I swallowed my hurt, determined not to let anyone see how invisible I felt in that moment. Growing up, my life was a constant echo of my brother's achievements. Every report card, every trophy, every compliment seemed to bounce off him and land at my feet as a reminder of what I wasn't. At family gatherings, relatives would ask about his latest success before even glancing my way. I learned to measure my worth in the spaces he left behind. Second place in the school. Race, the other sibling in holiday photos, the quiet one at the dinner table. My parents never meant to make me feel less, but their pride in him was a spotlight that left me in the shadows. I tried to shine in my own way, but it always felt like I was chasing a reflection I could never catch. The pain of being overlooked became a silent companion, shaping the way I saw myself and my place in our family. A week after the ceremony, I found myself wandering the old study, dust motes swirling in the afternoon light. The room still smelled faintly of my grandfather's cologne, a scent that always made me feel safe. As I sorted through stacks of forgotten papers and faded photographs, my hand brushed against the heavy oak desk he'd cherished. One drawer wouldn't budge. Curious, I searched for the tiny brass key I remembered from childhood, finally finding it taped beneath the desk. The lock clicked open, revealing a single envelope, yellowed with age and marked with my name in Grandpa's careful handwriting. My heart pounded as I turned it over, realizing it had been sealed for years, waiting for me. In that quiet moment, the world outside faded away. Whatever was inside, I knew it was meant for me alone, a secret my grandfather had trusted only to my hands. With trembling fingers, I broke the seal and unfolded the letter, the paper soft and fragile from years of waiting. My grandfather's handwriting was steady, each word chosen with care. He began by telling me how proud he was of the person I'd become, even if I'd never heard those words spoken aloud. He wrote about his own struggles, how he'd built the business from nothing, but always feared it would become a burden rather than a blessing. The business, he wrote, was never meant to be the heart of our family. It was just a way to provide, not a measure of love or worth. He confessed that he'd seen the way I was overshadowed, and it pained him. Then, in a twist I never expected, he revealed that my brother's inheritance was a promise made out of obligation, not true desire. You, my dear, are the one I trust with our real legacy, our values, our stories, the courage to choose your own path. As I finished reading, tears blurred the ink. The truth was both a comfort and a challenge, a secret that changed everything. I thought I knew about my family and myself. Clutching Grandpa's letter, I gathered my family in the living room, my voice steady but my heart racing. I read the words aloud, each sentence landing like a stone in the silence. My parents exchanged uneasy glances, and my brother's confident mask slipped for the first time. I spoke about the burden of always being compared, the pain of feeling invisible, and the truth Grandpa had entrusted to me. My father tried to defend their choices, insisting tradition mattered, while my mother's eyes filled with regret. My brother, usually so sure of himself, looked lost, as if he too had been carrying a weight he never asked for. The air was thick with old wounds and unspoken resentments, years of silence finally breaking open. For the first time, we were forced to see each other honestly, not as roles or expectations, but as people shaped by secrets and longing for understanding. After the confrontation, I sat alone with Grandpa's letter, reading it again and again, searching for meaning beyond the words. In a postscript, he revealed something I'd missed at first. a small investment account he'd opened in my name, meant to support whatever dream I chose to pursue. But even more valuable was the message woven through every line, his unwavering belief in me, not as a shadow or a second choice, but as someone worthy of trust and love. Grandpa wrote that true legacy wasn't measured in profits or titles, but in the courage to live authentically and the kindness we offer others. He urged me to use my inheritance, both the money and the wisdom, to build a life that reflected my own values, not anyone else's expectations. For the first time I realized I'd been given something my brother never had, the freedom to define my own future. Standing at this crossroads, I felt the weight of choice settle on my shoulders. I could demand a place in the business, try to rewrite the family script, or let go of the rivalry that had shaped my life. Grandpa's words echoed in my mind, urging me to trust myself and honor what truly mattered. For the first time, I saw a path that belonged only to me, one built on my own dreams, not borrowed expectations. With a deep breath, I decided to step away from the business and use Grandpa's gift to create something entirely my own. With Grandpa's letter as my guide, I began to shape a future that felt honest and true. I invested in a small project I'd always dreamed of, pouring my energy into something that reflected my passions, not my family's expectations. Each step forward was both terrifying and exhilarating, but I felt Grandpa's faith in me with every decision. I stopped measuring my worth against my brother's shadow and started building a legacy defined by my own choices. For the first time I felt proud, not for following a path set by others, but for daring to create one of my own. Looking back, I no longer feel bitterness or regret, only gratitude for the journey that led me here. Grandpa's letter gave me more than answers. It gave me permission to let go of old hurts and embrace who I truly am. My family is still imperfect, but I see them now with clearer eyes, understanding that love isn't about inheritance or approval. It's about honesty, acceptance, and the courage to be yourself. I finally feel at home in my own story, free from comparison, and ready to move forward with a heart that knows its own worth.